Do nice guys finish last? We really want to have a conversation and we want your comments about this whole nice guys finish last. What does that really mean? Thanks so much for tuning into Second Act TV. Want to welcome back Joni Caldwell Lerner, the motivational coach and life strategist. Joni, thank you for being here again.
You're so welcome. We can never figure out exactly what I am, so that kind of boils it down.
You're a life coach, you're a dating coach, like I said, you're a motivational strategist. Today's conversation probably falls under life coach / dating. Because it's a somewhat superficial yet really, really deep topic, and that is, do nice guys finish last? I bring that up because we get so many comments on these dating videos about, well, the women, they didn't want nice guys when they were younger. Now they want nice guys. And there's a back and forth on that. All I want is a nice guy, and all the guys on their websites or dating sites are, assholes. So I wanted to have a conversation on that, what that really means to be nice and what we need, both men and women, to know. Anything you want to say before we get started?
Well, I love how you presented this, because one of the things that I would caution everybody out there is that if you, everybody, you'll know why I'm laughing, if you start a sentence with all guys, all women, every person, every whatever, then you already know it's not true. Okay. Some of the people I've run into have X, Y, and Z. What do I need to do and change within myself such that I stop attracting those people? That's an accountable point of view, as opposed to the victim, which is, all women this and all men this and I don't judge those people. Yeah. My heart goes out to them because they're stuck in the loop and they don't realize they actually have the power to have their lives be different. Yeah. I just wake up.
Yeah. Well, I love this topic. I've said outside of this topic or just in conversations with friends, I don't like the word nice. I don't want to be called, oh, Silka's so nice. That's like boring to me. What does that mean? What does nice mean? Call me kind, call me warm, call me helpful. But nice, nice to me has always, for some reason, had a negative connotation. And I think that's what happens with men and dating, that we really need to distinguish between a nice guy and somebody who's kind, because in my opinion, and a lot of what is written here, being nice is a form of manipulation. Let me throw it over to you.
Interesting. Okay, good. So to the viewers, as you're listening to this segment with me and Silka, I want you to consider, do you think of yourself as a nice guy or a nice girl? And where has that got you? And do you know where your boundaries are? And you'll understand when we talk later why I'm asking that. And what are you willing to do to shift? Okay, just kind of keep those in the back of your head. To answer your question, I do believe that nice and kind are different. We're taught, be a nice girl, such a nice girl, be nice, be nice, be nice. And then what happens is we allow people to walk all over our boundaries. Same thing is happening with men. And it's interesting that you said that somebody commented on they wanted a bad boy younger and a nice guy later. So let me just be very succinct. Nice in the context that we're talking about right now means that they're not acknowledging their shadow side. They're not being authentic, because everybody has a shadow side. Everybody has some anger. Everybody has some worthiness stuff. Everybody has something. And if you're pretending to be nice all the time, eventually it's going to backfire. You're going to get resentful. You're going to blame the person that you were trying to be nice for because you were trying to be somebody that you weren't. And now it's their fault. Does that make sense? Do I need to elaborate a little bit?
Well, it makes perfect sense to me, but it's such an important point. Maybe we do want to talk about that a little bit more. You said a key thing here. Being nice means that you're constantly putting on an act based on what we're talking about now. Like you said, you're hiding anything that you're afraid to show to somebody because you might get rejected. And I think that's what happens on in the dating scene, that there are men out there who just, oh, if I'm just nice to her, if I just do everything she wants, if I do, whatever, then, she'll like me.
Yes, exactly. And you know what? We're all weird. We all have some insecurities about something. We all have all our, the chinks in the armor. We all have that. That's the truth. I don't want you to pretend to be somebody that you're not. I personally want a man. Now, I'm not talking, it's not nice guy versus bad guy. Because the bad guy, the bad boy, that's what they call it. The bad boy disrespects.
Right.
No room for that. But somebody who's not playing nice guy and denying the truth of who they are, they may be competitive. They may be sensual. They may be powerful. They may be these very manly things that I want from them, and that's who they are. I don't want them to deny who they are. So it's not bad boy versus nice guy. There's somewhere in between where you're truly, and the guy that I'm talking about has compassion, honors, and integrity, all of those things, and manly. And unfortunately, in the society, masculinity has been villainized.
Yes,
I feel.
Yep. No, good. Well, again, a really, really a great point you said about the bad boy. What is it about bad boys that women are, accused of liking or wanting? Of course, we want a nice guy. We want to be treated nice. We just don't want to be placated to. And the quote "bad boy," as you said, it's a sign of maybe being a leader. Being okay, so go ahead.
Yes. So it's a little skewed, right? So she sees that as a leader, and it also brings out her lover, not her mother, right? The nice guy brings out the mother. You do not want that. You do not want to draw that forth. If you're in your masculine, and by the way, guys, I apologize that I'm talking about this from being a woman. This is just what I've learned, from all my research, from my clients, from podcasts, from everything I've gleaned. So I'm just trying to synthesize and take it or leave it, take what works, leave the rest. But yes, you want to evoke the lover from your woman, not the mother. Right. And the nice guy, yeah.
Well, we're talking about it from a woman's perspective. I mean, this is. Go ahead.
That's not to say that the only choice is the bad boy. That's just why you were asking me, why do you think that we're attracted to them? Right. So what we want is a balanced man who is compassionate, honorable, integrous, and manly.
Right.
Small order, guys.
Well, yes, yes and no. It's really talking about, it's two extremes. One is the disrespectful bad boy, and then the other is this weak man. That's something that comes to mind. Somebody, and you do need to think about whether you do this or not. Do you blame? When you say, well, women, I'm a nice guy, so women don't want me. You're putting the blame on not getting a woman or getting the women you want on the women.
Well, okay, and so they come by that innocently. They come by that through the experience of their lives. Now they know differently, having watched this segment. Right. So now it's on them. Okay, and here's the thing: there are skills that they can learn. Be yourself. Yeah. And the one thing that's missing, the biggest thing that's missing from the nice guy, nice girl, is the lack of boundaries.
Yep.
So they don't want to push back and say no because they don't want the person to leave. So you have to take on two things, guys and girls, who, it doesn't really, both of us, do it. One is learning how to have boundaries, and two is leaving behind the fear of abandonment. Yes. Because we don't push, rock the boat or say no or disagree because we don't want that person to leave. Well, you know what? If they're going to leave over that, then they need to be gone. That's right. Right. So all of happiness, all of centeredness, all of groundedness in life has to come from within. not from outside. If we think somebody else is going to make us happy, we're screwed. Right. Pardon my French. But it needs to be said.
Yeah, and there's one other thing you just said that I think is important too. Not being nice is a virtue to some extent, of course, to get along in society and get through the day, get through meetings, dealing with people. Yeah, being nice is great, especially when these are all trivial situations. The deeper and closer you get into something is where you have to establish boundaries so people will respect you. And I think that's just a hard thing to sometimes swallow or to understand. And to your point again, with women, we're not picking on men here. We really want to have a conversation, and we want your comments about this whole nice guys finish last. What does that really mean? Because as women, we do this differently, but women can be nice guys too. We tend to do way too much or give way too much to wanting some man to like us, and that drives them away. But that's for another conversation. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I love what you just said too about it is a social lubricant.
Right.
In society, we do show up and we're nice to the barista. We're nice to our boss. We're nice to whoever. That's social lubricant, and that makes sense.
Right.
But going back to kindness, like some of the viewers have met my significant other, John.
Yes.
He is so heart-centered and so loving and so kind, but man, is he strong. He wears the pants in the family. Yeah. And I want that because I want to be able to be a feminine, because I'm a powerful woman.
Yeah.
That's okay. But in our relationship, it's this dance of the masculine and the feminine, and he has that strength. It's exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah. It's more challenging also for men because of the social engineering that has happened with how men should act, how they should treat women, how women it gets so confusing. That's why that's why it gets more, or is more important than ever, I think, to really think about nice guy. Are you doing somebody a favor by being a nice guy? And what does that really mean? Again, boundaries. Yeah. You have to be able to say no and take charge. Women want a man that takes charge. Obviously, we can talk about this forever. Tell me what I didn't ask you.
Well, I just wanted to mention I did a podcast once with Chris Bale. And we should put that in the show notes. It's a little out there, but it's incredibly powerful because it talks about the masculine divine and the feminine divine, the king and the queen versus the princess and prince. So the princess is me, and the prince is where's mine? I mean, it's just how do you step into being the queen? How do you step into being the king? That's your personal sovereignty. So if anybody's interested, they can take a peek at that. I just want to go one last plug for being you, absolutely speaking your truth. And I'm still learning this. Please don't ever think that I've got life figured out. I'm learning along with you. I'm still noticing where I don't use my full voice, or that I don't, especially in the climate today, where I don't speak my truth because I don't want to make waves. I still do that. So I want you to know that I'm learning right along with you. But I hope this segment helps somebody. That's our whole purpose.
Well, there's lots written out there. And like I said, it's a huge topic. You hear it all the time. Nice guys finish last.
I don't want a mean guy. And I don't want a bad guy. Sorry.
No.
Redefine the nice.
Exactly.
Get the boundaries. Don't worry about being left. Be you.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, and let's close with that, Joni, because I think it's in this article here, how to avoid being labeled as the nice guy. And one of the most important things they say, and you said that, is leave fear of abandonment at the door. And one other thing, again, no, neither one of us have all this together, but I think we both felt this was a really important topic, in the
Agreed.
male-female relationship. And I did find an article or came across an article about the women and what we do. And like I said, it'll be a topic for another conversation because I think it's really important as well. And there were like 8 things, and I'm like 7 of them.
Oh my
So
gosh,
more,
yes, let's do it.
so more than anything, this is something close. I think it's something that's close to you, and I really want to hear the comments on this. Do you have nice guy syndrome, and how has that worked for you? So, Joni, again, thank you. Go ahead.
One more thing that you know, in my brain. So if a nice guy is not going to protect his own boundaries, he's not going to protect the boundaries of his woman.
Yes.
And then he's not going to protect the boundaries of his children.
Right.
So we want you to learn to protect the boundaries of who you are and what you want in life, and be truthful and authentic, because that we can trust.
Yeah, that is such an important point again. We are going to close this down here in a minute.
Sorry.
But I think
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, that's where the implication is of seeing nice as a weakness because you don't stand up for yourself.
There you go. Yeah.
And you can stand up for yourself and say no without being an asshole. And and that's where you gain respect. And I think it could be life-changing if that's something that you're having trouble with. So, again, Joni, it's always such a pleasure to speak with you. I look forward to the comments on this. Joni interjects all the time, so let us know what you're thinking. And Joni, we'll see you again soon on Second Act TV. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to subscribe to our channel. The button is right here. Just click on through to YouTube, and when you see the little bell right next to the subscribe button, hit that too, and we'll notify you every time we launch a new video. See you next time.